who's afraid to call out LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. But this notion that he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time.
The whole NBA had to change the rules just because of one man, LeBron James. When he started cooking up those super teams, Adam Silver had to grab the rule book and rewrite it from scratch. That second apron rule, yeah, that was born because one player decided that competing wasn't enough. He wanted total control. He wanted guaranteed rings, no risks, no surprises, and now people act like that's just business as usual. Come on. Comparing that to Charles Barkley joining an older Hakeem, that's wild. Barkley wasn't building some Avengers-level squad in his prime. He was chasing one last shot at glory. But LeBron, he teamed up with two top-tier stars in their absolute primes down in Miami. That wasn't friendship, that was a straight-up power takeover. Picture this. Charles Barkley, a man who says whatever he wants and doesn't play corporate puppet, drops one light comment about LeBron's super team era, and suddenly the LeBron defense force goes full DEFCON 1. They acted like Barkley had just committed treason against the king himself.
Adam Silver had to put the second apron in because LeBron got all his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. What? Wait, y'all don't want to win the championship and just compete against each other?
All Chuck did was speak some truth. He pointed out how LeBron always got everything he wanted. Record-breaking payrolls, J.R. Smith on command, trades granted instantly. Then he hit them with one simple question. Does the so-called best player in the world really need all the best players around him? That's it. That's the crime Barkley committed. And guess what happened next? Here comes Richard Jefferson rushing in like LeBron's personal PR team, twisting the facts to make Chuck look bitter. Jefferson's smart, too smart, which makes it even worse. When intelligent people start bending the truth, it's not confusion, it's manipulation. And if you're still with me, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what happens next because this drama is only getting started. Are we seriously acting like getting drafted to a team is the same thing as secretly building your own dream squad behind closed doors? Come on, that's delusion. Let's set the record straight once and for all. Charles Barkley in 1984 was a rookie, plain and simple. He didn't pick Philly. Philly picked him. Meanwhile, LeBron in 2010 goes live on national TV for a full 1-hour primetime event called The Decision.
To the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Why?
Like I said before, I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win and to win for multiple years. And not only just to win in the regular season or just to win 5 games in a row or 3 games in a row. I want to be able to win championships, and I feel like
just to tell the world he was ditching Cleveland to join forces with 2 other top 15 players. That wasn't fate, that was straight up strategy. And here's the kicker. Dr. J in 1985 was 35 years old. That's not primetime Dr. J soaring from the free throw line with the afro flying. That's veteran Dr. J, still a baller, but clearly past his peak. Same story with Moses Malone, 30 years old, long past that MVP level dominance he had back in '83. Compare that to Dwyane Wade, 28 years old and fresh off an MVP caliber season. Bro, it's not even close. How is that supposed to be the same situation? But Jefferson didn't stop there, so oh no. He started tossing in the 1997 Rockets like they were some kind of unstoppable super team in their prime. Let's talk facts, not fan fiction. When Barkley joined Houston in '96, yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon was still nice, but by the time Scottie Pippen came around in '99, Hakeem was 36, Barkley 35, and Pippen 33, all past their prime. And on top of that, Pippen had just gone through surgery and missed nearly half the season. That's not a super team. That's a group of legends trying to squeeze out one last run. You know what the average age of that so-called super team really was? 35? Meanwhile, the average age of LeBron's Miami Heat squad, 26.
We can give you no sympathy when you are LeBron James, the best player in the world, with all of those tools, top-heavy tools. We cannot have any sympathy. That's
not experience. That's domination in their prime. Let's stop pretending this was even remotely similar. And then Richard Jefferson really lost the plot. He actually said, and I quote, "Pippen was in year 11, so he was in his prime." Wrong. By 1999, Pippen was in year 12, averaging just 14.5 points, his lowest since 1989. The man was battling back surgery, dealing with knee and ankle pain, and nowhere near the elite version of himself from the Bulls days. That's your idea of prime? Be serious. This is what happens when the LeBron narrative machine starts spinning out of control. They'll twist stats, rewrite timelines, and ignore context just to protect the image. And just when you think Jefferson can't stretch it any further, boom, he drags in the 2004 Lakers like that comparison even makes sense. The audacity is wild. Karl Malone was 40 years old. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. 40. The man was in his 19th season, coming off a year where he didn't even make the All-Star team for the first time since 1988. With the Lakers, he averaged just 13.2 points, a massive drop from his career average of 25. But Jefferson conveniently calls him the second all-time leading scorer, as if that somehow cancels out the fact that Father Time never loses. And then there's Gary Payton, 35 years old and clearly past his peak. Even his own franchise, the Seattle Sonics, knew it. They traded away their franchise legend mid-season for Ray Allen because they thought he was done. They literally said he's past his prime and moved on. And guess what? They were right. With the Lakers, he averaged just 14.6 points, his lowest since year 2 in the league. But sure, Richard, keep telling us how that's exactly like 3 superstars under 30 forming a dream team in their prime. The spin is insane. Oh, and before we keep tearing down these myths, make sure you subscribe right now because what's coming next will blow your mind.
Just won the championship. He got a young Kyrie Irving and a terrific Kevin Love. And
but
now,
it takes more than that to win the championship.
they just won the championship. What do you mean it takes more?
And Kendrick Perkins, come on, bro. You were literally on that Celtics team. How are you just skipping over the facts like that? Kevin Garnett got traded to Boston on July 31st, 2007 in a massive 7-player deal. That wasn't some secret handshake in a nightclub. That was a front office masterclass. And let's not forget, Ray Allen got traded a month earlier on June 28th in another multiplayer deal loaded with draft picks. These weren't backroom deals over cocktails or text chains between stars. This was Danny Ainge grinding those phones nonstop, making real trades happen. That's how basketball's always worked. One move after another, old school GM style.
I remember Charles Barkley got drafted to a team with Moses Malone, maybe Dr. J, and
Not 3 buddies plotting behind the scenes to take pay cuts and dominate the league. There's a huge difference between a general manager building a team and a trio of superstars colluding to control the game. See, that's the line that got blurred forever when LeBron changed the playbook. One path is about competition, the other is about control, and LeBron chose control. Let's talk numbers because they tell the whole story. The 2010 Miami Heat's Big 3, LeBron James at 25, Dwyane Wade at 28, and Chris Bosh at 26, all deep in their prime. LeBron was fresh off an MVP, Wade just came off a top 5 MVP finish, and Bosh, he was averaging 24 points and nearly 11 rebounds a game. These weren't washed vets. They were young, dominant, and hungry. Now compare that to the so-called Super Team Rockets from 1999. Hakeem Olajuwon was 36 years old, putting up just 18.9 points per game.
remember Charles Barkley going to Houston. And then he teamed up with Hakeem Olajuwon. And then Scottie Pippen was also there. So it wasn't older. Olajuwon and Charles Barkley were at year 14.
Still great, but clearly past his prime. Barkley was 35 and Pippen was in his 30s recovering from surgery. That's not the same league. That's not the same energy. It's a whole different world. His lowest in a decade. Barkley was 35, averaging just 16.1 points. Pippen was 33, putting up 14.5 points. Their combined age, 104 factorial combined All-Star appearances that season, 0. Be honest. That's not a super team. That's a farewell tour. So what are we even talking about here? Is this basketball analysis or straight up fan fiction? Because the stuff these LeBron defenders are spinning belongs on a bookshelf, not on ESPN panels. And here's what drives me crazy. Every talk show, every podcast, every YouTube debate, it's the same exact formula. There's always that one guy whose full-time job seems to be defending LeBron like his paycheck depends on it. Doesn't matter the topic. Trade deadline, LeBron needs more help. Draft night, this reminds me of when LeBron carried his team.
Situations, and we've all had thoughts about either management or whatever, and we've always put forth the team and the respect that we have for each other to go out there and still do our job.
While it's his problem, can you help but take it personally with the commitment you made to come back?
No, I'm disappointed. I don't take it personally because I understand he's been put in a tough and difficult position. I think the disappointment comes that, if that was the case, it could have.
Random Tuesday in February? LeBron would never. Like, seriously, is this sports commentary or worship hour? It's like the entire sports media acts like LeBron's got some dirt on everyone behind the scenes. And honestly, maybe he does. Because what else explains grown men twisting themselves into knots to protect the narrative? You can't even say LeBron's one of the greatest anymore. No. You have to declare he's the greatest or you're instantly branded a hater. There's no in between. At this point, it's not even fandom. It's a cult. The man's surrounded by an army of loyal defenders ready to attack anyone who dares question him. When did basketball debates turn into loyalty pledges? When did GOAT talk turn into a religion? And here's the wildest part, the irony. When Kevin Durant joined the Warriors in 2016, who was crying the loudest? LeBron's entire camp. It's not competitive. It's ruining basketball, they said. Excuse me? The same man who invented the modern super team is now crying about competitiveness? That's rich. This is where the hypocrisy hits another level. And trust me, what comes next will blow this whole double standard wide open. So hit that subscribe button if you're tired of the fake narratives, because we're just getting started. Someone followed his own playbook and now he's mad about it? That's like the guy who invented the atom bomb complaining when someone else built one too. You opened that door, LeBron. You don't get to slam it shut now. At least when the Warriors built their dynasty, they drafted Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. They built that foundation brick by brick. Then years later, they added Kevin Durant on top of it. That's called team building. The Heat, that was manufactured behind closed doors. Secret phone calls, quiet meetings, private talks, and then boom, the big three. That wasn't basketball tradition, that was NBA engineering. Yet somehow KD became the villain while LeBron got painted as the hero. How does that make any sense? Now don't get it twisted. Nobody's saying LeBron James isn't great. The man's a basketball genius. Top 5 all time, maybe even top 3. But what drives people insane isn't his game. It's the revisionist history. The endless twisting of facts just to protect his image. Just own it. Say it out loud. LeBron did start the player empowerment era. He did change how championships are built. That's not hate. That's just honesty. But don't insult people's intelligence by pretending a 40-year-old Karl Malone is somehow the same as a 26-year-old Chris Bosh. Come on. Before LeBron's decision in 2010, the league had never seen 3 superstars in their prime plotting to link up like that. Never. Sure, older vets jumped on contenders before, and general managers made blockbuster trades. But 3 top 15 players under 30 taking pay cuts to guarantee rings, that was brand new. That was the birth of a new NBA era, an era LeBron created. And you want proof? It's literally written into the rule book. After that Miami super team was formed, Adam Silver and the league panicked. They saw what LeBron started and realized, we have to stop this from happening again. That's where the repeater tax and the second apron rule came from, straight out of those 2011 CBA meetings. Those rules exist because of what LeBron did. So if that move was so normal, why did the entire NBA scramble to rewrite the financial system just to keep it from happening again? Think about that. Think about it for a second. After the decision shook the entire NBA, the league went into full panic mode. Then came the Supermax in 2017, followed by the designated veteran extension, both desperate moves to stop superstars from bailing on their teams. Every single one of those rules was a direct reaction to what LeBron unleashed. The league had to rebuild its entire contract system from the ground up, just to contain the chaos he created. But somehow, we're still supposed to believe that was just business as usual? Please. Let's call it what it is. Charles Barkley getting drafted to Philly is not the same as LeBron hosting a primetime TV event to announce he was leaving his hometown team. A 36-year-old Hakeem Olajuwon is not the same as a 28-year-old Dwayne Wade and a 40-year-old Karl Malone. Don't even try to compare that man to a 26-year-old Chris Bosh. Those situations aren't even close. Not by age, not by context, not by reality. And a general manager working the phones, grinding through trade offers isn't the same as players secretly plotting their own championship blueprint in free agency. Those are facts, not opinions. Cold, hard facts. So why does telling the truth about LeBron feel like breaking a law in NBA media these days? That's the real tragedy here. LeBron's real achievements don't even need the extra spin. They're legendary on their own. 4 championships, 4 MVPs, the all-time scoring record. That's greatness, no question. But for some reason, that's still not enough for his defenders. They have to rewrite history to make him untouchable, to erase every flaw and silence every critic. So next time someone hits you with the line, LeBron just did what everyone else did, hit them back with one question. If it was so normal, why did it break the league? Why did the NBA have to rewrite its rule book just to stop it from happening again? And if this was just another team up, why can't anyone name a single example of 3 prime superstars joining forces before 2010? Exactly, crickets. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because the next drop is going to shake things up even more. See you in the next one.